Now next is kinetic energy of a rigid body in rotational motion. So we are going to derive the formula for a rigid body for the kinetic energy of the rigid body which is in rotational motion. So for that I am taking that there is a rigid body and this rigid body is performing the pure rotational motion about this axis, let's assume it. And I want to find out what is the formula for the kinetic energy of this rigid body. So let's derive it. So I am considering this rigid body to be made out of small particles, right? Can we do it, right? So I am assuming it that this rigid body is made out of small particles like this. Okay. Now let's assume that this rigid body is rotating with the angular velocity of omega. So omega is the angular velocity. So I hope you know about the angular velocity as we have discussed in the circular motion. And now there are different particles, so they will be rotating in the circular motion. They will be performing the circular motion about this axis of rotation. As we know that rotational motion is just the combination of multiple circular motions, right? So this particle is just performing the circular motion, and like this particle is also performing the circular motion like this, and this is the another particle which is performing the circular motion like this. Okay, so all the particles of rigid body are performing the circular motion. Now I want to find out the total kinetic energy of this rigid body. So what I will do? What is the formula? What is the known formula for the kinetic energy? Let's do here. So the kinetic energy, as we know, for a point mass it's half mv square. But we cannot apply this formula. The problem is that this mass is just rotating, it is not moving. But still I want to find out the total formula, total kinetic energy of this rigid body. Okay. So what I will do, I will break this rigid body into the small particles, and now I know that these small particles, they are just performing the circular motions. So I can calculate their kinetic energy in terms of half mv square, where m will be the mass of these particles and v will be the linear velocity. And using that I can find out the total kinetic energy of a body which is in rotational motion. Okay, so let's find out. So for that I will need the linear velocity. Okay, so what to do? Let's assume that this particle 1 is rotating in a circle of radius r1. So you know that the particle 1 is rotating with the angular velocity of omega in a circle of radius r1. Can you tell me what will be the linear velocity for this particle? Yes, the linear velocity will be v1 equals to omega r1. Yeah, you have learned this formula in the circular motion. Okay, so can you also tell me what will be the kinetic energy? Now we know the linear velocity. Can we find out the kinetic energy of this particle? Okay, let's find out. Let's write down the term. So yeah, so the kinetic energy of particle 1 will be half m1 v1 square, and v1 can be written down as half m1 and v1 can be replaced as omega r1. So v1 square is there, so we can write it down omega r1 square. So it will be half m1 r1 square omega square. I think you do not have any problem in this. So this is particle 1. Can I write down the same formula for the particle 2 in the same way? Yes. So v2 will be omega multiplied by r2. So just think it, why the omega is same. You know already, right? Because in circular motion, if particle is performing a circular motion, so then all the particles starting from the center till the perimeter, all the particles will be rotating with the omega. Now we are taking a rigid body. Now there will be multiple planes in that, but all the particles will be rotating with the axis, about the axis of rotation with the same omega. So that's why omega is same. But of course, the distance from the axis of rotation will be different. So V2 can be written down as omega R2. So then the kinetic energy of the particle 2 can be written down as, just think it, half m2 r2 square omega square, isn't it? Similarly, I can write down for the third particle, fourth particle, you can go on like this up to the n particle. Okay. Now what we wanted to do is, we wanted to find out the kinetic energy of a rigid body in rotational motion. That was the basic we wanted to do, right? So let's find out the total energy, and total energy will be the total rotational energy. Okay. So the total energy is the total energy of this rigid body is sum of kinetic energy of the particle 1 plus kinetic energy of the particle 2 plus kinetic energy of the particle 3, so on up to all the particles. Okay. Now it can be written down as half m1 r1 square omega square plus half m2 r2 square omega square, so on. So the total energy will be, let's take out half omega square common from the all of the terms, right? Why common? Because that's common in all, right? So this will be m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square, so on. Okay. Now every time I'm not going to write it down like this, right? I will write it down in short form. So that is half. Now let's first write down this. Okay. So this will be sigma I equals to 1 to n mi ri square multiplied by omega square. So this is a important derivation, but you need to keep in mind that this derivation is applied only if the rigid body is performing the pure rotational motion about the given axis, where the sigma mi ri square, in this ri is the, let me write down, what is the ri? Ri is the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. So ri in this term is perpendicular distance from axis of rotation, and mi is the mass of ith particle. Anyway, we know that. And what is the omega? Omega is angular velocity of rigid body about given axis. Okay. Still, let's try to write it down in more known form. So we know that the kinetic energy of any body which is moving or which is performing the translation motion, the kinetic energy is written down as half mv square, right? Yeah, this is the formula. Now the rotational kinetic energy is something similar, isn't it? Half is there. Instead of omega, there is, instead of velocity, linear velocity, this is omega. And that of course we understand, because this body is performing the rotational motion, so it will be performing a rotational motion with some angular velocity. So that's why there is omega, right? So that's omega square. Okay. Now what is the term, this term in the linear velocity? This is the mass. And what is the mass? What is the basic meaning of mass? Mass is the inertia of translation. This is the inertia of translation. In the same way, there is this term, let's call it as the inertia of rotation or the moment of inertia, and let's represent it with the I. So the rotational kinetic energy is half I omega square, where I is the moment of inertia. Moment of inertia, right? And what is the formula for the moment of inertia for a discrete particle system? What is the formula? The formula is I equals to sigma mi ri square, I equals to 1 to n. This is the moment of inertia, right? This inertia, moment of inertia, is similar to the inertia of translation, right? There is the similarity between the kinetic energy of translation and the kinetic energy of rotation. Instead of velocity, linear velocity, there is the omega. In the same way, there should be the inertia instead of mass, right? Mass is the inertia of translation. So instead of there should be inertia of rotation, because it's the rotational motion. So that's why we are defining a new term called as the moment of inertia. That is sigma I equals to 1 to n mi Ra square. What is the mi? Mi is the mass of the ith particle. Ri is the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation.